All right, so Ustream, we are the largest live video streaming platform. We've been around since 2007. We're devoted to live video and making live video streaming accessible to everybody. So I'll just go over real quickly. This is our homepage, kind of shows some of the content that we have. So we have stuff like entertainment content. We have stuff like our very popular animal cams. And this is another broadcaster called Creative Live that actually has done something pretty interesting on our platform, which is they do live classes for Photoshop and a lot of photography type stuff. And they do all their classes live, and then they sell the video content later. We also have some other stuff like news, a lot of stuff on the Supreme Court right now, of course, entertainment stuff, sports, and more of those ever popular animal cams. So I want to show you today how you might be able to use Ustream as well, because since this is a WordPress meetup, there's a great way that you can use Ustream on WordPress. So I'm going to show you quickly how you can stream live from our website and how you can embed that on WordPress.com or WordPress.org. I don't know what sort of the familiarity level is of everyone in the room, but everyone knows the difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org. Yes, can I see a show of hands if you know the difference? So, okay, excellent. All right, I just want to make sure I'm not saying anything that's too obvious to everyone or over everyone's head. So, so the first thing I'll show is I'm going to go to my account on Ustream. So I've already created it. I won't show you how to create an account. Hopefully you know how to do that on other websites. It's very easy. You just give your email and create a password, and then you have an account. And we have both free and paid plans on Ustream. So the free plans let you stream as much as you want. The thing with the free plans is that they have ads on them. And the pro plans, basically you pay for the bandwidth and you pay to remove the ads. You also get unlimited storage. You also get advanced analytics. So you can use the platform either in the free version or the pro version. And all the information is on our website, ustream.tv. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how you can broadcast just using your built-in webcam and built-in microphone. You can also broadcast using professional cameras. That's what we're doing here today. But I'll show you kind of the easiest and fastest way because hopefully everyone has a built-in camera that they can broadcast with. So I'm logged into my account here on Ustream, and I'll click this button here that says Go Live. And this launches, I have a couple different channels, so I'll just broadcast on one of my channels here. And this launches our web broadcaster, which is, now I can see myself on my webcam there. And here there's a camera control and an audio control, so I'll turn on both of those. And all I need to do to start broadcasting is hit Start Broadcast. And so now this is streaming live video. And it's truly live. Wait 1 second for it to load first. So the thing with live video is that it has a little bit of a buffer. It's not like video conferencing where you are trying to talk back and forth. So there's a little bit of a buffer so the quality can be as good as possible. So it's usually about maybe, I don't know, a 5-10 second delay from me talking to where you see it here. So here's my live player, and you see me talking here. And we have, with every Ustream channel, you get this social stream chat module, which allows you to basically add comments and talk with your viewers. People can ask you questions live. And it also can pull in Twitter handles or hashtags. So if you're doing an event, and let's say you have a special Twitter hashtag around it, like if there's a hashtag for this meetup, we could set it so that it automatically pulls in all the tweets that are using a specific hashtag or handle. So now I'm going to show you the embedding part on WordPress. So if you mouse over the player, like most other video players on the web, there's a share menu, and you can get an embed code here. And there's a little symbol here that looks like some HTML brackets, and I click it, and that brings me to the embed codes. The embed code is an iframe, and so how many people are familiar with iframes? All right, most people. So really nice thing about an iframe is that they're a really popular way to do video embeds now and a lot of other things in the web because it's just a tiny, tiny piece of code, and it works on a lot of sites, including WordPress. And what's particularly nice about our iframe is that it has the detection built in, so it knows if someone is visiting from a mobile device or if they have Flash, and so we can serve the video in either way. So I know everyone thinks that Flash is evil, but believe it or not, most of the video you're watching on the web is still delivered via Flash. But in cases where the user doesn't have Flash, we also have basically an HTML5 compatible player that can serve the correct versions for iPhone and iPad and Android phones. So I'm going to click the button here that says Copy to Clipboard. You can change the size of the player here. I'm just going to leave it at the default, which is set pretty smartly so it fits into most web page designs. And I have a WordPress.com account that I just made today, but I've used it in the past, but I just made this one today, and everything was different, so I had to learn it all again today, but I figured it out. So don't believe any of the documentation. The documentation says they don't allow iframes, but it turns out in our case it's not true. I thought that I had to find the HTML editor to put this in, but apparently it works if you just do this. So I just paste it into the text editor, and we put like a little promotional link after the video player, and I'm going to delete that because WordPress does not render that one correctly. So now we see a pretty clean code here for iframe width, iframe height, and it has the link to the Ustream channel, and then it just has a couple parameters. And I'll title my post, I'll call this Ustream live video, and I'll hit publish post. And view post. And now we'll see that same video player on my default WordPress theme, beautiful blog called ustreamembed.wordpress.com. So now we have the same live video that we saw on the Ustream channel page, and it's on WordPress.com. And this can handle as many viewers as you want to throw at it. If you are doing self-hosted WordPress sites, you may want to be careful if you think you're going to do a huge event, because we have seen people underestimate how much traffic they might get for their event, and they'll take down their own site, but our players will not go down. But WordPress.com, I think, should be more than enough, more than robust enough to handle it, as well as if you use some other hosting service. It's not usually too big of an issue, especially unless you think you're going to get an audience of millions. This is the live video that's now on our WordPress.com blog. And we can also do it on WordPress.org. So I will show that next because it's slightly different. So what WordPress actually does is it seems like they actually basically convert it into a shortcode sort of in the background. And so they apparently sort of understand our video formats, which is a nice thing about streaming using Ustream versus maybe trying to set up your own streaming server or something like that. So they didn't really tell us they were going to do it, but now they just work on WordPress.com. So basically you copy and paste the Ustream embed code and it'll work. So I already have it copied to my clipboard, and I'm going to go to my WordPress.org site, and I'll do the same thing here. The editor looks a little different, and we'll call this Ustream live video on .org. And I'll do the same thing here. I'll paste it, and this time I can leave that extra link in because it will actually render it correctly. And I'll hit publish for my post, and view post. And there's that same video player on the .org site as well. And this is my own site that I host through Fat Cow. So that's basically streaming really quickly. I'm going to tell you one other thing which might be really helpful. If you don't want to use the browser-based broadcaster, we also have a free software called Ustream Producer, which is very popular, and it allows you to do a lot of additional functionality. For example, you can drag in video clips, or you can add music, or you can do titles. You can switch between multiple cameras. So Ustream Producer has 3 versions: a free version, a $200 version, a $550 version. And so this is another really popular way to stream. It's also very simple. I have it installed here. Basically, you log in to your Ustream account, and you can add your cameras, and you can also drag in video clips or other things. So I can show you dragging in a clip here. Here's a video file. It'll play MP4 videos. It'll play AAC or WAV or AIF audio, basically all the standard formats. And then you can also do images, or the other really cool feature of it, which a lot of people take advantage of, is that you can do screen capture of a PowerPoint, or you could do like a guest via Skype as well. So I'll show you real quick the screen capture with a PowerPoint. So here's my PowerPoint about the same software. It's a little bit meta, sorry. But all I have to do to screen capture it is, it has a built-in screen capture functionality, and I can basically choose the area of my screen that I want to capture. So I'll zero in on my PowerPoint here. And hit enter. I'll add this shot, and now I can go through my PowerPoint presentation, and now I can stream this PowerPoint presentation live as well. So this is really helpful if you want to show a PowerPoint and maybe talk over it at the same time. And you can also do this with a Skype video guest as well. So we have a lot of people that use it like that. Like they want to maybe do a talk show, and they want to, we've been talking to a lot of bloggers who love this type of thing, because maybe they write blogs all the time, they use something like WordPress, but then they want to do some more interactive content, so they host like a live video thing with their audience. They want to bring in a guest, maybe they have another person who writes for their blog who's on the other coast, and you can bring in a remote guest via Skype using the same screen capture functionality. So that's Ustream Producer. There's a free version of this software. Also, our platform is free to get started, and we also have pro plans, like I said. And so that's sort of Ustream in a nutshell. So I'll take a few questions about Ustream, and then I'll pass it along to the next presenter. And I think we have a microphone, so if you could please wait for the microphone, that would be excellent, because then everyone here can hear you, and everyone that's watching can hear you as well. Oh, hold on, we gotta wait 1 second. Let's just put up the other channel there.
Sound check. Okay,
Yeah,
you can hear me.
great.
My question is, can you show us how to do a live stream from our Android cell phone?
I don't have an Android cell phone, so I can't show you. But we have a free app for iPhone, iPad, as well as Android, and it's really pretty self-explanatory. Download the app, and there's a button that says Go Live. You can create an account, and it works the same way.
Thank you.
Yep. Can we get the mic to whoever has the next question up front here?
Hi. There was a screen that you had, and I may have missed it, but when you're doing something live, can you also record it as well?
Yes. Sorry, I forgot to mention it. But so you can, right here in our Ustream Producer software, you just hit Start Recording, and then that'll record it, and then people can watch it later, and the archive stays up indefinitely.
So my part two to that question, thank you for clarifying, is so if we put this up on on our website after we go live, and then when we're done, if we're recording as well, does that video stay on there until?
Yep, exactly.
Okay,
so
awesome.
the default setting is basically it'll record it, and then it'll save it, and then once you go off air, it'll put that as the
Perfect.
content in the player. And the other thing you can do is, I didn't show it here, but before you go live, you can also put content in the player. Like you could put a slideshow with some messaging, or you could put a video. If you had like a trailer clip or something, you could put that before you go live as well.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Other questions? All right, I'll be, oh, sorry, one more. Can we pass it all the way over the couch?
Yeah, can you export the saved screencast so that you can host it on other services?
Yeah, so you can after you do the recording, you can also download those files. So, yeah.
Okay, and so do you have an API that supports that?
You can just download them individually. There's not an API to mass download. Well, actually, yeah, there is. Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Yeah, one more question in the back.
Can you show where, on that first part where you cut off the end of that embed code?
Yeah.
Where exactly, I couldn't see where you cut it off at?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I can, let me see if I still have it up. There's basically a small link there which does this little ad for Ustream on the bottom, live video streaming from Ustream. And so it's right after the last, iframe closing tag there. So if I could pull it back up here, hold on. Yeah, sorry, I don't know how to get back to the editing now because they changed everything on WordPress.com. So, can someone help me out here? I don't know. My blogs, where? Oh, right here, my blogs. Okay. Here we go. Oh, perfect. Thanks. Okay. So now, actually, we should be able to see that short code now too. Okay. Yeah. This looks. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is actually what's really interesting is that once you post it in, then when you go back to the editing, this is what I was talking about, that WordPress is actually like, they're actually recognizing that it's a Ustream link, and they're making it into a shortcode. So it's weird because you don't see it at first when you post it in. It looks like they're just taking it, but then when you go back to edit it later, it's a shortcode. And so you could also actually input it in this format. The number at the end is just the channel ID or the video ID. And one other thing I'll mention while we're here is that you see the width and height, so you can also adjust the size of your player. Just pretty self-explanatory. If you do that, though, make sure that you want to preserve the aspect ratio of the video. So sometimes people are like, oh, I'm going to make a player that like fits my dimensions perfectly. They don't realize that there's a certain dimension of your video, and so you have to make sure that it respects the 16:9 aspect ratio. So. I think if you have more questions, I'll be around afterwards. I'm happy to talk to anyone, and I think I'll pass it along to the next presenter. So thanks a lot for having me.